We've just seen the text of Matt Gaetz's resignation letter to the House, and it says, I hereby resign from the 118th Congress, and I do not intend to take the oath for the 119th, the one that comes in early January, suggesting that he assumed he was going to be Attorney General and didn't need this job anymore, right? But now that he's not going to be the Attorney General, he can go and ask the Speaker or whatever committee runs this to rescind that. Then that might have to be considered by the House. He's not that popular. He could run for his own seat in a special election if Florida wanted to do it that way. He could be appointed to the Senate seat opened by Mark Rubio. I mean, there's all sorts of ways Matt Gaetz is not done in Washington. Although it sounds like the conversations he had with senators suggested that, as we say in Texas, they smelled toast.
Well, so it's one thing to consider whether Matt Gaetz is done with Washington or done in Washington. Another to consider if Washington is going to be done with him, specifically the work ongoing in the House Ethics Committee in regard to the report looking into allegations of sexual misconduct, sex trafficking, drug use. What happens if he's not a member of the House, he's no longer a cabinet nominee? Does that mean this ethics report, Wendy, is never actually going to see the light of day, at least through formal means?
Right. It probably won't. One, you have a Republican Congress coming in. You have a Republican House that wants to show its fealty to Donald Trump. And also, they have a long to-do list. They're going to move on. And the Republican-led Ethics Committee may turn to some Democrats that they've had their eye on. They may just say forget about it and let this thing go. On the other hand, if things are really bad, they may go ahead and release it and censure him as they did with George Santos, who was a Republican at a Republican Congress.
He showed up at the Ethics Committee meeting yesterday,
weird.
Which was pretty remarkable as Congressman Lawler handed out water to the reporters who were waiting.
Who were getting faint.
We heard from Chip Roy, Freedom Caucus, who said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You released this report on a former Republican member. You're going to be hearing a lot about former Democratic members. What's he talking about? I
have no idea, to be perfectly honest with you.
That would still require the Ethics Committee to vote to release its own material.
Absolutely. And I don't know. I don't think there are any Democrats under investigation right now. There may be. Maybe he means in the future it's a threat.
I think he was referring to former members who may have had cases not exposed.
And there's plenty of those going back over the years.
Well, I guess so.
What would be the point, really?